Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for being on our call today. Looking forward to see what we get to discover today. I'm not going to give any instruction or preamble. We're just going to jump right into our 90-second private silent meditation on gratitude for the outcome. Gratitude for the outcome. And I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds and just silently listen for any personal inspiration that comes to you on this subject of gratitude for the outcome. Begin. I am really grateful for the way that our world is set up. And Phil, who's on our call today, mentioned as he was sharing some of the things that he was grateful for about the perfect balance that we have on the earth. Like, when there's a wildfire, then the smoke that goes up into the air kind of creates heaviness in the clouds, and then it ends up raining. And God just set up this perfect rotation of things to always be a spiral upward. I think about, all the hardships and things that have happened throughout history, even just in the last 150 years. And I mean, you think about even the Dark Ages was just a totally different world. But even just in the last 150 years with the Depression and the wars and, different things that have happened, and all of the inventions that's happened since then, and the way the more convenient, my daughter just sold a house that was about, 80 years old, 90 years old, something like that. And just the changes in electricity and the different ways that they used to use asbestos and they don't use asbestos now, in building materials and things. And we have evolved. Our civilization and the planet itself is better today than it was, even just 150 years ago. And I'm just, even some of the things that I feel like right now are deteriorating, that there's some choices that people are making in society and things like that feel like we're going downhill. I know that all things work together for our good. And I just really have hope in the future and the outcome of all of the choices and the things that are happening right now. It can't help because I look at the way that this earth is set up. and the history of evolution and the way that things have improved over time, and the problems have led to solutions that create an even better society. I just have a lot of hope in positive outcome and really even better situations and circumstances in our world than we could ever even imagine. I have hope in that. Who else has something that they would like to share?
I would right away.
Thanks, Ruby.
I know I came in kind of late and I missed all of what he said, but in furthering what he said, with when there's a burn and there's animals that die, there's trees that turn to ash, it's the beginning and the end, and the circle that we have, that Heavenly Father created for us, is endless. And because that circle is endless, we can find, wherever we are in that circle, growth and insight from those outcomes. And we receive blessings, whether they be manure or rain or sunshine. And we glean feelings of love from our heavenly parents. And that gives us inner strength and positive feelings, even if stuff is bad. There's always a good side to everything.
Wow, beautiful. I know I've always, not always, but in the last 6 or 7 years, I have always felt that there is gratitude in everything. That I can look back over my life and there's never been a bad experience. I've been able to find gratitude in everything that has happened, even the traumas, even the things that I wouldn't wish on anybody. I have found gratitude, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that visual of seeing everything as a circle, as endless, as infinite, an infinite circle that we're all part of. And what a beautiful visual to find myself within that circle. Thank you. Who else?
I'd like to share.
Thanks. Tammy and then Melinda.
Tyree's comment, just being able to see more clearly after something is done, came to me as I was doing the meditation. And I was thinking about how, when we've completed something and we're standing on top of that mountain peak that we've just got done climbing, and the view, the perspective that we're able to see compared to the perspectives that we have as we are hiking along the trail on our way. And I believe that I know that if we will simply trust Heavenly Father and know that, as you said, Wileen, that everything works together for our good, that as we're hiking along that trail, that just knowing, trusting that the best outcome will manifest in the best way and at the best time. And then once we're able to get to the top of that mountain peak, it's absolutely breathtaking to look back and see it from God's perspective.
Oh, thank you. I am grateful for that. What you said, breathtaking to look back, because when you said absolutely breathtaking, I thought you were going to say to look forward, to look out, to look over, what we can see now that we're on the mountain peak. But what a wonderful thought to get to that mountain peak and then be able to look back with gratitude and just see what a breathtaking view, how amazing God's hand is in our life, and be able to see all those steps as clearly as He does. That's a beautiful thought. Thank you. Melinda.
As I opened the scriptures and we started the 90-second meditation, I pointed to the word same, and it was Jesus Christ is the same yesterday and today. And so no matter what the outcome, Jesus Christ is the same. He atoned for us, for our weaknesses, for our healing, and for our return home as we go through all these different cycles and journeys. That's constant. And so it's like a ballerina, she keeps her eyes focused in one area as she performs and progresses, and that's how she keeps her balance.
Well, always keeping our balance by focusing on Christ. I love that idea. And wow, what a powerful thought that we can trust the outcome always, because he is always the same. And God says he is the same as well, God and Christ. Thank you. Who else has something they'd like to share?
Well, as I was thinking about gratitude for outcomes, what came to me was that I'm so grateful for the many different things that have happened to prepare me for outcomes. Specifically, things that have been harder for me to work through, and also for the timing of those outcomes. If they had come at different times in my life than when they did, I may not have been as prepared or had the patience to make it to a good outcome. I may have been stuck in a bad outcome. So I'm just grateful that I can see the master's hand in my outcomes. And it's not something that's been easily seen for me, and sometimes. So I'm really, really grateful that my back was prepared and for the timing of my outcomes.
Well, that's really powerful too, because when we're wanting something to happen in our lives, it's like we want it now. And it's like, why can't, I have it right now? With the many clients that I've worked with, I've felt that from them a lot, as we talk about different things that they want in their lives. But we'll just kind of check in energetically and ask, what is missing? Like, what's the thing that still needs to happen before that outcome can be? And it's always some physical, or not physical, it's always some personal character trait or characteristic or something, skill or something that they need to learn to prepare themselves to receive it. Just recently, I was on a call with one of my clients, and he's trying to build his residual income, and he was being frustrated because some of the things weren't falling into place. And so we asked that question, what lack I yet, basically. And faith was the word that he said. He said, I lack faith. And it's like, okay, build your faith, and then you will prepare yourself for the outcome that you're wanting. And I love that God is so generous to us that he gives us everything in the perfect timing. And he's also gracious enough that he's not going to give us what we aren't ready to receive. And, if we can align our will with his, we'll be able to see that. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
I just wanted to say that even though we don't know the outcome of anything else, we know that Jesus Christ will be triumphant, and that gives me hope.
Beautiful. Yeah, I have hope in that as well, that there's always going to be a happy ending. I love that. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and just take a deep breath. And just go ahead and close your eyes and allow yourself to be in the outcome that is perfect, and allow yourself to be shown the perfect outcome instead of you trying to force the picture of the perfect outcome that you think would be the perfect outcome. Allow yourself to be shown the perfect outcome of whatever it is that maybe there's something that you've been struggling with. Maybe there's a situation in your life that's been frustrating. Allow yourself to be shown the perfect outcome. And visualize what that feels like to have this be in the past, to be standing on that mountain peak and looking back and seeing the hand of God, seeing all of the ways that he has orchestrated events, the patience that he has had for you, developing the skills and the character that was necessary for you to receive that outcome. Looking back and seeing yourself standing victorious on the top of that mountain, and just the gratitude that you feel for every step of the path and all of the choices that you made to get here, all of the new beliefs that you had to, limiting beliefs that you had to let go of, and new beliefs that you had to embrace to give you the energy and the confidence to continue forward along this path. And that now you have made it, that you are at the top of the mountain, you are standing victorious and looking back at that path and with gratitude and peace in your heart, and knowing that every step was necessary and every step was perfect. And then turn around and look at the view. Look at what, now that you are through the problem, that you're able to look out and see with new eyes what the land that lays before you. The new goal, the new perspective, the new possibilities, the new realization of what is next. And because you have made it to the top of this mountain, that you are confident that whatever is required for you to continue forward in your life, to write this new chapter, that you will be given every step along the way, just as you were on the path that you just were reminiscing about. And listen as you are looking out over that next path. Listen for any limiting beliefs that are coming up for you. And just allow those limiting beliefs to be present, knowing that they are just part of the refining process of you that will help prepare you for what's coming. If there is a limiting belief about you standing victorious on top of that mountaintop, just to be aware of that as well, and know that that also is part of your path and will be necessary to, this is a gift that Heavenly Father is giving you to know what it is that is your next obstacle that needs to be overcome before you can make it to the top of that mountain. So whether the limiting belief is about your current path, seeing yourself on top of that mountain, or if it is about the new chapter that you would be starting in your life as you look out over the expanse of what's to come, just honor those limiting beliefs, find gratitude in them, and then also examine the cost if you keep them. And if you don't like that cost, you can make the choice right now to give yourself permission to choose some new beliefs. So if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose some new beliefs, say yes.
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 Awesome. And what are those new beliefs? Let's get 2 or 3 new beliefs that will take the place of that old limiting belief and will allow you to have a different outcome, because the limiting belief will produce one outcome. You've see that with examining the cost, but the new beliefs will produce a different outcome. So choose the new beliefs that will produce the outcome that you want, the outcome that you choose, the outcome that you're envisioning, what the scene that was unfolded to you. What new beliefs make that possible? And as you have created a list of new beliefs, let's take a moment and really add those new beliefs to your very core belief system. That they are not just words, they're not just fun ideas, nice ideas that will that are something positive to say, that they are part of who you are. That if you described someone to if you described yourself to someone and weren't using like physical characteristics, you would describe to them who you are at the very core, that these new beliefs might be some of the words that you would speak about yourself. So allow those new beliefs to become part of you. Just take them in as you breathe those new beliefs in, and allow them to become part of your cellular makeup, of your heart, of your soul. So that as you move forward in life from whatever place you're at in that circle of life, of your path, whatever step you're on your path, that these new beliefs come with you and they empower you to continue forward. And as you're bringing those new beliefs into the very core belief system of your being, and knowing where you're going, having already been there, you've seen the outcome as you were standing on that mountaintop, and using these new beliefs as fuel. What is the one most important thing that you could do today to actually achieve that summit, to be able to actually make it to the top, to be able to see your outcome, to look back and with gratitude know that you've made it, that the outcome is complete, and that you are now free to be able to move forward? What is the one most important thing that you could do today? What's your inspired shortcut to being free to enjoy the outcome and then move forward? In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. And we have probably 4 or 5 minutes that we can do some shares. And I just want to take this opportunity and thank all of you for the comments that you've made today. Those of you who are on the live call, the things that you shared in the beginning as we were doing our rounds of gratitude supported me in having hope in an outcome that for me personally, I'm just really grateful for seeing an outcome and having hope in an outcome based on what you've shared, and also on our call after we started the recording. And I have my inspired shortcut today, and it's not something that I would have ever thought of on my own. So I'm just super grateful for this call and for the inspiration that is always available to us when we're open and we're ready to receive it. The visions that can be opened up to us when we're willing to allow our minds and hearts to allow ourselves to let go of what we think we know and just let God pour some new ideas into our hearts that are definitely better. So I want to thank you. And then also, if there's anybody that is struggling in this area at all, if you would like to connect with me, you can do that by going to askwylene.com, and we can do a 15-minute call. So that's a free call that I offer to anybody that is struggling with something. You just need some extra support. And I promise you that 15 minutes, you'll have your answer at the end of our time together. And you do that by going to askwylene.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule that 15-minute call. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I would.
Thanks, Ruby.
You know, the limiting belief is to stop. It's a limiting belief for all of us is to stop and move not forward, but just to kind of lavish rewards upon ourselves for the vista that we're viewing and how far we've come. And that's, we can't do that. And I'm very guilty thinking, wow, I did it. But my shortcut today is to take a step, just one step forward. And in doing that, take a deep breath and start moving upward again. And I'm already seeing my abilities increase, and my dreams are starting to come true. The ones that I've always had since I was a little girl that I thought would never happen. And they are happening. And it's sometimes scary. Like, is this really okay for this to be going on? But it feels good and it feels right. And I've worked very hard. And I've always asked my Heavenly Father for help. And I'm thankful for your calls and the opportunity to come and say, I'm indebted to you for your help. We can move forward, and life will become a beautiful reality for us.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. I went to Peru a couple of years ago and hiked the Laras Trek, which is one of the Inca trails. And there was a woman on our hike who was really, really struggling. And I remember just thinking that I was just doing good, to get myself to the top of the mountain. And I saw how much she was struggling, and I just stopped and I said, okay, I'm going to hold your hand and we're just going to go 5 steps. And she nodded her head. I mean, she was just like, I don't think she felt like she could go another step. And I held her hand and I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we stopped and we rested for, 3 or 4 minutes. And I said, okay, you ready? 5 more steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we did that all the way to the top of the mountain. Not all the way, but from that moment, all the way to the top of the mountain. And it did 2 things. First of all, it helped her get to the top of the mountain. I don't know what she would have done if she had to do it by herself. And then the other thing was, it confirmed to me that there's somebody I can help. Even if I feel like it takes all I can do just to get myself to the top of the mountain, there's always somebody that is struggling that I can reach my hand out and grab their hand and say, okay, we're just going to go 1 step. We're just going to go 5 steps. You with me? Let's do it. Thanks, Ruby.
Can I share something?
Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
So my limiting belief is that I need to go fix the past. And the cost is that it keeps me stuck and fills me with fear about moving forward. And my new belief is that everything that has happened perfectly. I choose my past, and everyone else is also on their own path. And my shortcut is just to move back towards center and focus on being one, and receive that inspiration about what to do next.
Beautiful. Thank you. And, there are situations in our past where we can actually go back and, create some healing. I know with my kids, there have been times when I've gone back, I've apologized, for things that I've done back when I was unconscious about everything. So there are things that we can do, and energetically we could go back to a memory and we could create a different outcome by choosing something different energetically. And that's a very healing process as well. So there are ways that we can do that. But what a beautiful thought. And I feel so powerful to know that every step of the way that I chose it, it was the best that I could do in the moment with what I knew, and to heal me, to forgive me for the choices that I made in the past, that a lot of times is just as good as healing the past. Thank you, Phil. Well, we are at the end of our time. I wish we could continue on. This has been really healing for me. So thank you. I appreciate all the shares that have, everybody that has shared today. We're going to go ahead and end our call though, and encourage you to go to our Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, and continue to share there. If you have anyone in your life that is experiencing something right now and they're having a hard time seeing a positive outcome, this would be a really great call to share with them. So if anybody's coming to mind, I encourage you to watch for this to either pop up on the Facebook group, Breakthrough with Gratitude, or you can always go to my website and check my blog out. That has all the archives of all the gratitude calls there. And it's also available on all the popular podcast platforms. So it'll be posted later today. The earliest it gets posted is on the blog. So if you want to find that real quick, it's also on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you could do that as well. All right. Well, we are going to head off to our day. Thank you all for everything that you've shared on the call, and we'll look forward to be back together tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Wayne.
you. Love you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. Would love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.